Ladies and gentlemen, I've had the good fortune to talk about a lot of world championships over the past 6.5 years on Sportswire Radio. I've had opportunities to talk with celebrity after celebrity. You saw one yesterday, great white guitarist Mark Kendall. We've had on Rhino and Savio Vega, but this face to face here might be one of the most eagerly anticipated confrontations to date on this platform. And you might even want to say this might be the most anticipated world heavyweight championship in BYW history's match that is about to take place here a week and a half from now, May 4th. We're going to see it all come to a head here. And a match that some would say not even is months in the making, it's years in the making. You think about the success of BCW. You think about a platform where it's reached nearly 1,500 subscribers. These two men have been synonymous with it. You think about the history that these two men have had with each other and inside and outside the ring, and it finally comes to a head here next Sunday. But we're going to get a preview here over the next hour about what's in store, and we're going to let these men, and I'm going to certainly say this could very well be a tread lightly episode here tonight, but we're going to get into it here, plus who knows whatever else. But since the guys haven't been here in a while, and I know that Tsunami, this is your first time on this platform, and we are here, baby, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and after all, the band Great White with their 216,000 followers on Facebook just shared my interview with Mr. Mark Kendall. And plus, I'll even have something for you guys here over the next hour, which you have no idea what I'm about to give you. I am going to give the two of you an introduction that'll certainly last a lifetime and get us ready for Trampomania 3. And in the words of Def Leppard frontman, Mr. Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and let us introduce our guest and get this show on the road here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one double radio station where all wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one Level Sports Show, the founder of BCW. His name is simply put, Tsunami. And the man that for the past 8 months has been the reigning, defending BCW heavyweight champion of the world. He is Maxel, the master of brutality. Fellas, how are we doing?
Fantastic. I'm doing amazing. I don't know about the champ, but I'm very happy to be here. I've been thinking about this all week, all day. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. I've been very focused on this as well, but in no way am I going to sit here and be smiley and be happy with you, as I have a lot of work to do over this next week. I've been doing a lot of work over these past 8 months and before that, and for the last 4 years. So I am going to remain completely locked in here. I'm going to keep my composure, and I'm not going to let anything get under my skin.
We're going to get into that over the next hour, and I definitely want to touch upon some of this. But, I'm going to go with you first, Tsunami, not because this is the first time you're here on Sportswire Radio, but, if I would have said a month or two ago that I would have thought you would have had the upper hand going into Trampomania 3, I probably would have said, nah, I've seen Maxel on here. I've seen what he's done with NJN. I've seen what he's done throughout the BCW roster and what he's done to keep this championship. But what you've done here, sir, the last month and a half to Maxel Reeves is as crazy as this sounds for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you two men alongside BCW have most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio. I think you have the upper hand right now, and I think you're a strong favorite, some would even say, to capture this BCW championship. But tell us why, because I think I kind of know why, and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of different things. 2024, my win-loss record was lopsided, to say the least. I think it was like 3-7 and something.
Yeah, you were in and out of the company. You definitely
wasn't my best year. No. But now 2025, I've yet to lose yet, and that's a sign of things to come. And I guess Maxel Reeves is
you even put your spot on the line. I mean, yes. You even put your spot on the line against Caden Gallows, a man that has been here on this platform before, and you put it on the line, and you seem like you've gotten into the head of Maxel Reeves. That's why I think, and I think some people might think you have the edge going into next Sunday, because you seem to have, I guess, whether you wanted to or not, have played mind games with the champion. And it seems like just from right now, these first few minutes he's on the air with us, I mean, you've got an edge.
Yeah, he's all worked up. It's Trampomania season, and he knows that that's not a good time of the year for him. I mean, he's lost twice to me. He lost the BCW championship to me at the first Trampomania, and then after I took a year off, he still lost to me in my first match back last year. So now I won the gridlock match. I beat 3 other people, and I earned my spot in the main event of Trampomania, and then I beat Gallows again, and I've been riding this wave of momentum that Maxel Reeves is scared of, to be quite honest. I've been in his head since February now. And
yeah, it's been a couple of months now. It's been a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And I want to get to the champion in a minute, but, you said something interesting. And I remember when Maxel came on here, it was almost 8 months ago, actually. He had just captured the championship. And I remember we had a very, very interesting conversation, and we spoke about you at length. You've come up in the previous 2 shows that Maxel's done here on Sportswire. But for the audience here, what do you think has been different this year, and why you've been undefeated, and why you've been more successful than last year? What do you think's been different?
Well, for starters, I had this clause where as long as NJN was the BCW champion, I couldn't challenge for the title.
About that
since he lost that, since he lost that to Maxel Reeves, I was stuck in a rivalry with Tommy Good that at the start of the new year I worked my way out of. And so coming into 2025, I had this new sense of hope, this new sense of, life, that this is going to be my year. I can go on to Trampomania 3 in the biggest match in the history of our company with the most people.
I think one of the biggest matches in BYW history because of just what you two men have certainly put each other through. And just, I think right now, the momentum that BCW has. I mean, I just think that's strongly in this match. And I want people, by the way, before I get to Maxel Reeves, please go out there. If you haven't yet, hit the sub button for our friends in BCW. And when Maxel first came on here, BCW was right around 500 subscribers. Might have been just around the number. And now they're almost 3 times that number. So that shows you that BCW is definitely a company you want to pay attention to, and hit the sub button so you get notifications. They usually put a lot of their shows out Saturdays, usually Saturdays, 6 o'clock Eastern time. You also get some other stuff here throughout the weeks, and they will also have Trampomania 3 coming up next Sunday. So we're excited about that, and please hit the sub button for them, and I will get to some people in a minute. But Champ, it is good to be with you, and I know, though, you're going to tell me differently. You're going to tell us all why you're going to walk out of Trampomania 3 with this championship, and Tsunami is all just blowing smoke, and it's all just a facade.
Yeah, well, first of all, Tom, with all due respect, I do think there's a mistake if you think that Tsunami has the edge over me, because I'm somebody who defeated the longest reigning BCW champion NJN, who
We had
interfered.
you here. Yes, we talked about it quite a bit. Yes,
Yep.
yes.
And interference or not, because there was multiple times in which Tsunami lost to NJN clean. There was 2 times he lost to him clean, and the other 2 times there was a little bit of interference. Okay, but he still tried to face NJN multiple times before any interference ever occurred, and he failed. He failed both times. And when I stepped up to the plate, when I went to go challenge NJN, I saved this company from that tyrant, and now I carried us into the most successful period we've ever seen. And now I am sick and tired of Tsunami wanting to come back and take the credit for everything that I've done for my entire championship reign, for where this company has evolved. As you said, we have tripled our subscriber count, and I don't even know, over quadrupled, over quintupled our Instagram count.
Instagram, we were all talking about this off the air. I'm like you guys on Facebook, you guys on Instagram. It's just you've hit the certain sweet spot. But you said something interesting, and I've had a lot of champions in the backyard over the years on this platform. I've had Savio Vega and Rhino here, and I just had double platinum album recording artist Mark Kendall of Great White. So that this is the only platform where you get the true big leaguers, you get the true main eventers. And you said something, though, that really hit home just now, because I've heard from previous backyard rulers. I've heard from all these different champions that have come on here, and they held the title for years and 300 days. You're on 8 months, and you're approaching some of those charted waters that those champions have been in here on this platform and spoke about. But yet you seem like you're not getting the respect for bringing BCW up there with those companies that used to come on here, and those companies before, whatever you want to fill in the blanks about. You're the guy now. You're the guy of this generation, this wave here. You've led BCW, and from what I remember, and at least from over the past 6.5 years on this platform, is that the buck stops on who's in the top, who's the champion. That's what everybody remembers, and you're the guy. You're the man. You're the man that has led BCW to now being with those backyard companies that ruled the day. You're the guy that's led BCW to where it is, but why are you not getting that respect then for bringing BCW to the heights of many that used to come here on this platform and have achieved?
Well, I think those that are unbiased, those that don't have any inclination to go towards the side of Tsunami, I think they can look at the facts, they can look at the statistics, and they can deduce who's really responsible for BCW's success. I mean, I am the only guy in this entire company that you see behind me, the only guy who has never missed a film day ever, not once. I have had to say no to many tremendous opportunities, many very important events in my life for this. And then I've had this conversation with Tsunami. We've talked on air about this. I brought this up constantly. And what Tsunami says is that he says that this is the only component of my life, which is untrue. I just placed
you talked about your wardrobe came up even, and I mean,
yeah, and I don't understand, like that's just one of those very low ball insults, with those very unintelligent insults. Even like the harshest one that he used at the end of BCW 140 that caused us to get into that fight. It's very, very low hanging fruit. It's something that is going to aggravate some people, and that's fine. He can do that. While I can sit here and continue to be the greatest, I don't have to stoop down to those levels. I can keep it all business. I can talk all about BCW all day long. I could be this company's chief brand ambassador. And then what I can continue to do is continue to be successful. I've done it all. I don't have to stoop down to these levels to keep myself relevant. And Tsunami, he's clung to me for 4 damn years. 4 years he's clung to me and my successes. And I mean, it's no coincidence that every single time a Trampomania comes up, who's this guy lobbying to get in a match with, regardless of if I was BCW champion or not. He always wants me because he knows exactly who it is that is going to get him at the top of those view counts. Last year at Trampomania, we had 2 of our most successful YouTube shorts of all time, and both of which came during me and his hardcore championship match, or not hardcore championship match, hardcore contendership match last year. So I just think that Tsunami is somebody who, I've never called him an idiot. I've never called him dumb. He's a manipulator. He's a conniver. He accused me of being a politician. He himself is the exact same thing. So, and I never accused the man of being dumb. He's wise beyond his years. But what he doesn't have, what that I have, is my ability and my pedigree and the fact and the passion that I have. Professional wrestling is in my blood. Professional wrestling is in my mind. It is in my soul. It is the only thing I want to do with my life. And I promise you, I'm going to say it right here. And you better keep this receipt, Tom and Tsunami. I want you both to keep this receipt years down the line. I'm going to make it to the top of this industry. And Maxel Reeves will become a household name, while Tsunami is just a natural disaster.
Well, you know what? And I want to get to Tsunami here in a minute, but I want to ask you one follow-up. And yeah, we'll certainly, you're talking to the guy that's been with the big leaguers and spoke to the main event guys and the places you want to go. Those guys have been in your chair. So I'm going to remember this, because we literally in the last few months, we've had about 7 names that have certainly gone on to the big leagues and different things. But let me ask you, though, one more point on the BCW championship. You spoke about a number of different things. We just talked about the views. We talked about the YouTube shorts. We've talked about the company subs going up. But do you think, in your opinion, Maxel Reeves, considering where BCW is right now, are you the greatest BCW champion in history?
There's a lot of names there. There's Tommy Good, who I thought had an incredible inaugural reign as BCW champion. Really, I mean, the guy could constantly went out there, defended his title, and proved himself. Then we had me, and my first BCW championship reign, as great as it wasn't everything I'd hoped for, because Tsunami came back. He put himself into the match. He stole my title. And then he had to that point, and still to this day, what was the shortest BCW championship reign in our history. And, really, that was quite the down period for BCW. But then although I don't like the guy, I got to give him credit where it's due. NJN did a lot to inflate the prestige of this championship that's on my shoulder, that has now all been transferred to me. And yes, Tom, to answer your question, I know that was a little long-winded, but yes, I do believe that I am the greatest BCW champion.
From a business standpoint, that might be where we are right now. From a business standpoint, we talked about BCW tripling its subs, quintupling its views on Instagram, the shorts. I mean, all those different things from a video standpoint. But Tsunami, I want to come back to you, because Maxel certainly talked about some things that you've said. We know about the most recent brawl you guys had. And you want to talk about some of those things that you said about Maxel and tell us why it's led to this and the suspension that you two had.
Yeah, so pretty much at BCW 140, I came out there and I didn't plan to say what I had said, and I won't repeat it because I don't want to get suspended again. But if you do want to hear it, it's on our YouTube channel.
I'm actually going to put it up in the background.
Oh, perfect. But yeah, he didn't want me to leave. Like, I tried to leave ahead of time, and then he had to come back and say something else, and it got me really amped up, and I said what I said, and I'm not sorry for saying that because it's the truth. And then backstage, as I'm getting ready to leave, he assaults me. So when you pull up the brawl, you'll see that he puts his hands on me.
Yeah, we're going to come to that in a minute. Yeah, we're going to come to that.
Here we go. This is some good stuff.
Yeah, it is. But, tell us, you were going to leave. I mean, you were getting ready to go.
Yeah. I had said what I had to say up until this point. I told him pretty much that he's a phony, that he's not who he says he is. He's not who he's pretending to be in that chair right now. And I told him that I'm going to take his title at Trampomania and I'm going to leave him alone. It's not going to be it's not the first time he's felt this way, and it sure as heck won't be the last. So I say this over and over again, that Maxel Reeves is everything that's wrong with this place, because he pretends to be someone he's not. I'm myself. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. If I'm such a terrible person, so be it. But at least I'm true to myself. Maxel Reeves is pretending to be this really great human being so that he can stay at the top of BCW.
So you brought up his history with NJN, and you blamed him actually for where the company had those problems with NJN. Mm-hmm. You actually addressed this quite a bit in what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and he actually took credit for it at the height of the mob when he was the hardcore champion and NJN was the BCW champion. Maxel Reeves took credit for it, and he was really proud of bringing NJN in as a contingency plan so that when I beat him for the BCW championship, NJN showed up 5 minutes later and attacked me. and they formed the mob, and they did everything they could to keep NJN on top. And you saw how that turned out. NJN, I said this in one of my
he just lifted the championship up to
That's how it turned out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It turned out good for you for now, but NJN, I mean, he broke your arm and you handed him the knife that he stabbed in your back. So I hope that the pain was worth it. I hope that, you know, the 2 years of misery that you caused in my life, you made me the man I am today. I hope it's all worth it. And I hope that after next Sunday, after May 4th, you think it's still worth it when you're sitting, you know, on your back looking up at the ceiling without the BCW championship.
Well, I mean, you know what? Certainly, Tsunami, you make some interesting points, and that's why there are people out there that feel that you have an advantage going into this matchup. But if you want to hit the sub button for BCW, do that, and we'll watch a little minute or two of it here and see what it all led to, and that brawl that led to you two, obviously, you know, getting what was brought down to you. And
no, I don't think I was at all. My biggest regret is that I didn't take you down my damn self and take that BCW championship back off you. That's my biggest regret, is that I enlisted his help. But you know why I enlisted his help? Because 3 people can't run a fucking company. I'm sorry to tell you. It has always been me who has the ambition and the desire to grow this place.
It's always been you, huh? It's always been you?
Always me.
Yeah, okay. So what if it's always you? If it's always you that's here, you're always the one that's helping me outshine you. You're always the one that's the fans are rooting against. Good for you, man. Good for you. But guess what? You wouldn't be here without me either. So you can complain about me not being here as much as you want. You wouldn't be here without me. And I am the founder of this company, okay? You can say that I'm not as much as you want, but this is mine. This is mine, and that will soon be mine. And I'll tell you this right now, Maxel Reeves. I dare you to do whatever what you can do to stop me from winning the championship. It's just not enough. It's just not enough now. So
could be a foreshadowing of things to come. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is my moment. Your moment. You had your moment for what was it, 8 months? Congrats, Maxel Reeves.
About 8
the
months.
only reason why you're BCW champion is because that bullshit clause that was placed on my career because of you. Because of you. And I don't know what happened in that last match with NJN. I don't know who attacked me, but I know you had something.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. I want to go back to that in a minute. We're going to watch
I had
this.
something to do with it. Yes, of course. I had something to do with the masked man who attacked you. Come on, how delusional do you sound? You're just trying to spin this because you realize you just got schooled in front of thousands of people. School. I'm going to tell you how you. You got schooled. Because I just told it like it is. I just flipped this entire perception, this entire narrative.
So I make one mistake. at Trampomania 1, and I take the championship from you, which that was not the mistake. Maybe I should have inserted myself in the match. Maybe, but you couldn't beat me for it the next week. You couldn't beat me for it at 36. And let me tell you this, after everything I've done for this place, I was here all the time when we were first getting going. I got this place on the map. Not you.
Who was right there alongside you, Tsunami? Who was there alongside you?
I'm the star. You're not the
star. Oh, man, I cannot wait for next Sunday. Cannot wait. And join me by hitting that sub button.
Wrestling in the first BCW match for the BCW Championship. Ever since the beginning, you have not been meant to be here. You are an outsider. You are an intruder.
Keep telling yourself that.
And you have been an intruder for 4 damn years. And at Trampomania, I am going to put you out to pasture.
Damn right.
Ooh. I'll see you at Trampomania.
Don't you walk away from me, guys.
See, I was ready to leave.
No.
See that?
Don't you walk away from me.
You got more to say?
You got more to say? Yeah, I do got more to say. I always got more to say.
Lay your hands on me again, and we'll see what happens. Like it happened the last time I stepped in the ring with you.
Yeah.
You want to go in the ring?
Yeah, when I was kicking your ass and you hit me with a low blow.
Well, you did get the upper
You
hand.
ended up shoulders on the mat. You went up shoulders. You want to go in the ring? I'll go in the ring right now. Come on, let's go. Come on. Or do you want to stay there and keep talking? Because I got nothing left to say to you.
You have nothing left to say to me?
Nope.
Really?
Other than the fact that I'm going to take that championship from you. It's the only thing I can keep saying. And if you want to look at that again, just look at that. And remember, you see those 3 numbers behind Trampomania? It doesn't stand for the 3rd event. It also stands for the 3rd year of Trampomania, the 3rd year that I will beat Maxel Reeves at Trampomania. Doesn't that just sound awesome?
Wow.
It sounds amazing to me. It sounds fantastic. I actually get to beat this man on the biggest stage in backyard wrestling 3 years in a row. And he has to sit there. He has to sit there and deal with it. And before I go, I'm going to leave you at Tramplemania alone with nothing in your life, just like your father did.
Oh, well, that, you know what? Now that, did you have to go there? Did you
Yep.
have to go there? And why did you go there?
I went there because he pissed me off. He comes out here with the same attitude, and every time he looks in my eyes, he thinks he's better than me, but he's not. And I wanted to show him how easily I could crumble him from the inside, because I was already in his head way before that. And now just that one comment alone, and he's about there to start crying in front of the camera. He has to tell him to cut before he starts sobbing, because I can get in his head as easy as anything in the world. Okay, it's actually so easy. Go ahead.
Champ, you got the floor. Champ, you can respond.
I told them to cut the camera because I was doing you the courtesy of not embarrassing you in front of the world like you tried to do to me. And because I knew what I was going to do after you said that. It was all in hand. I was surprised in that moment that you said that to me. But the moment you did, I knew what I had to do. And I felt a little bit of sorrow in my soul, and I still feel a little bit of sorrow for what I'm going to have to do to you at Trampomania 3 for saying that. You know, I don't give a damn that my father left me years ago. I don't give a damn. I'm fine. As you can see, I'm doing just fine.
You got the prize everybody wants right now in the backyard circuit. I mean, that seems pretty good to me. I mean, don't think you need him anybody like that.
Absolutely, I don't. But here's what disgusted me. What disgusted me is that no matter what, in my personal life, no matter what I have been going through as an individual away from wrestling, no matter what has gone on, and I've been through a lot over the last 4 years since BCW started, and it has gotten me through a lot, and I have gotten BCW through a lot of adversity, you know, interchangeably, right? But when Tsunami wants to go out there and he wants to destroy that, he wants to take away my escape, but he wants to blend the reality and the business together, and that's what he tried to do. Is he tried to weaponize that? What he was intending is he wanted his army of fans, these cultists who, for some reason, after everything this man has done over the last year, the betrayal of Tommy Good, the cheating, the manipulation, the slow schedule, the lack of appearance.
He says, no, you're manipulating the fans. He's saying that you've manipulated them, and you aren't this Maxel Reeves that everyone thinks you are. What do you say to that?
I am exactly who I am. I wake up every day. This is not a character. This is me. This is me. And this is exactly who I am. This is exactly who I've been. He says I'm pretending to be this good guy when deep down I'm this evil person. That's fine. I don't care if you think that's Tsunami. But here's what I know about you. Is what I've known is that working with you behind the scenes to take this company that I thought we both loved, to take this place to the moon. Working backstage with you have been nothing but selfish. You have been nothing but arrogant. And Tsunami, you think you can show up and do whatever the hell you can. And this is the big thing. This was one of my biggest sources of hatred for you, besides the personal stuff. Is that, listen, at in 2023, we were supposed to have Trampomania 2. We ended up having that a year later. Here's what happened: we were supposed to have a show, and then out of nowhere, stopped showing up. Stops. And me and NJN being in a faction, we have nobody to wrestle. We have nobody to fight against. We have nobody to compete against. Can you imagine, Tom? Can you imagine where this place would be? We saw the unprecedented growth we've gone through. Can you imagine where we would be if we never went on that 10-month hiatus? Can you imagine? And that is exactly the point, is that when it comes to BCW, this man in this call, Alexa, stop. Shut your mouth.
Is Tsunami trying to get Alexa to stop what Maxel Reeves wants to say? I mean, I don't know, but that seems even more personal than you invoking his father, Tsunami. I mean, that's some pretty serious stuff. That he's brought up allegations of working backstage together, and that you were responsible for stunting the growth of BCW. I mean, what do you say to that?
You know what? If he wants to put that all on me, that's fine, because I have a lot of responsibility. I am the founder of BCW. It's funny how he wants to dish out the credit in certain places. He wants to take it when it's beneficial for him. But then, when it's talking about a hiatus, as if it wasn't all four of us that, were part of the company, it's all my fault.
No one to wrestle. It was me and NJN who were in a faction together at the time. I had nobody to wrestle. And before I was rudely interrupted, I'm going to say my last thing, then I'm going to let you respond to this, because I want to hear what you have to say. Because when it comes to BCW, this is a vehicle. This company is a vehicle. It needs fuel. It has an engine. It needs to run. I am the man who puts fuel in that engine. In my view, I don't take credit for being the founder like you do. I'm not an egotist. You go out there and you take the sole credit for being a founder. There's 3 founders: me, you, and Tommy Good. But back to the vehicle analogy, this company is a vehicle, and you have been a passenger who gets off at whatever stop he sees fit while the driver continues to take this place above and beyond to increase the mileage of this company. I am sick and tired of you taking credit for all of my successes, everything that I've done for this company. I've given my life to BCW. And then you are going to call yourself the founder, and it disgusts me looking at that little description of your name underneath.
well, Tsunami,
good, wasn't it? Looks
I
nice.
mean, boy, this goes back to the beginning of the conversation. You have definitely gotten into the head of the champion, and you should respond though to some of those allegations because those are some serious allegations.
Well, I'll use the car analogy. You can put as much miles in it as you want. Good for you, man. But if it wasn't for me, you'd be driving a clunker. But now you're driving a Ferrari, and so am I. BCW is a beautiful Ferrari, and without me to shine it up and make it look nice and make it look entertaining, it would be like a Honda Civic or some crap. And if anyone drives that, I feel sorry for you because, I mean, honestly, I roll in style. I don't know about the champ Maxel Reeves.
You're getting off topic.
But what do you say though about the 10-month hiatus? That hiatus where BCW, maybe we're at 2,500. Maybe we're at 3,000 subs right now. And maybe we're talking about BCW with a totally different viewership. And what do you say to that allegation that Mr. Reeves just said?
Yeah, I don't think he can put that on me because at that time he hadn't the company hadn't, mastered everything that it knows now. And there's no way for him to tell that we were going to grow thousands. I'm sure we would have grown definitely, but it's years in the past and he still can't get over it, which explains a lot. And if he wants to put it all on me, that's his own personal insecurities because he couldn't figure out how to get content filmed. And I wasn't there. Okay. I had other stuff going on. That's fine. It's not my whole life like it is Maxel Reeves. And the thing is, it's a common misconception that the business needs to be your entire life in order to get to the top of it.
But there are some people that feel that. I mean, Triple H has been famous about all he wanted to do was talk about the business, even when he wasn't wrestling. I mean, the very best. I mean, I've had the very best on this platform. This is the only one. I mean, you two gentlemen are in the chairs that Rhino and Savio Vega famously sat in. Great white guitarist Mark Kendall, who had a song that was number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. And only 2 artists that had a higher song than him on the charts were these guys, Prince and Bobby Brown. I mean, we're talking that category that have been here. And those names, they would tell you, and they would say, you got to eat, sleep, and drink, whether it's music, wrestling, whatever it is. So, I mean, shouldn't, though, your life have been 24/7 BCW, getting BCW to be at the very top?
Maybe, but I guess I don't have that love for BCW as much as maybe I should, but I still love it enough. And
all I needed to hear.
And keep saying that. But where's Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar's a perfect example. He didn't.
Well, we don't want to talk about Brock Lesnar.
That's where he is. That's where you're going to be if you keep.
He didn't eat, sleep, breathe WWE though. Neither did Goldberg, and yet they made it to the top.
Well, Goldberg certainly. I mean, we'll have to find out. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. This is all coming to a head here next Sunday, Tramp-O-Mania 3, and Tsunami seems like, in the words, he may have an upper hand, but Maxel Reeves is the one, ladies and gentlemen, that has the prize that everybody wants right now in the backyard. That is the BCW Championship. I have a lot of people that want to talk to you guys. Plus, I want to give you guys something. Plus, I want to get to a few other things. You have to hit the sub button for our friends in BCW. It is so good to have BCW back on Sportzwire Radio. The first time BCW is back here in about 5 months. It is well worth the wait. We are here with Tsunami, the founder of BCW, and the reigning defending BCW champion, Maxel Reeves. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally where all music matters and now all wrestling matters. Let's get to some people here. Zilla, who we want to wish a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Zilla. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're enjoying the conversation. And she'd like to say hello. Yes, I agree with you. All wrestling matters. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, yes, yes. Omen Black wants to say hello, the IMF champion. How you doing, champ? And hello to him. And my buddy, Mr. Colton Lee, the Heartless Sheriff, who's going to be in action this coming weekend before you guys have Tramp-O-Mania 3. Wanted to say he's here to see what BCW has to offer. And I hear a birdie, a friend, or maybe a not so distant friend of Mr. Colton Lee's, might be showing up to meet you guys. But stay tuned for that for a different time. And good afternoon, and hello there, and let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Let's definitely go. And happy birthday, Zilla. Yesterday's guest, Jake Dvorak, of course, the unholy Jake Dvorak from our friends in Massachusetts. We got Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts here the last 2 days, and in between, Great White. Pretty big last 2 days on Sportswire, I like to think. And Caden Gallows, Mr. Tsunami, Caden Gallows is here, and maybe he wants his receipt.
Maybe. And he's welcome to try and take it from me after Trampomania, especially now that I'll have the BCW championship. And as much as Maxel Reeves might say I won't be a fighting champion, I would love to defend my championship all summer long and all year long.
You don't have You don't have a chance at BCW.
Oh boy, it's all coming to a head here. I cannot wait for Tramp-O-Mania 3, baby. And you can hit that sub button for BCW. BCW is definitely legit, just like our friends in Legit Alternative Wrestling. They are some of the very best in the BYW circuit, and the viewership, the subscribers tell us that that is the case, and the talent. And my buddy Doc Holliday, the legendary Doc Holliday, of course, the Riot in the Ring winner. Also, you've seen him from the GBYW and the historic Global Backyard Wrestling Network, and of course, TF Crew, amongst many other places. And how you doing? And hit the follow button for our friends on Instagram. And hello to Jake. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get to some more comments. The legendary Underground OG, the right-hand man of James Taylor, the owner of ROEW, host of the Dark Chronicles, Mr. Dark Cron is here. How you doing, Mr. Cron? Happy birthday. And yes, hello here to our friends in the Backyard Wrestling Nexus and Mr. Ultimate Gamer 2.0. And he is excited, and maybe he's scouting for the Nexus, but yes, thank you for tuning in. And let's go to this here. Been a fan since Gridlock, and I'm not looking back anytime soon. BCW is the best, and you're about to see what I'm going to give you guys here in a few minutes, and that might very well back it up. And happy birthday to Zilla. Thank you so much for that. Happy birthday. Let's see who else we got here. And I've been through the worse than these two with my own dad. Yes, we're sorry that anybody has to go through things with their dad, but Maxel Reeves is focused on continuing his run as BCW champion, and from his words, keeping Tsunami as far away from that championship as can be. But we'll have to see. I don't know who to be a fan of. Be a fan of just BCW. And happy birthday, Zilla. Thank you for your support. Ace Swagger is here. And I'm going to get to that. But, gentlemen, since BCW, and I know we're going to get right back to the action here, but, BCW's had a lot of success, a lot of momentum lately. And I thought, what better way, maybe what not so better way to give BCW something, but I would like to share my screen because I think it's the right time now, because congratulations for BCW to go into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, and I will give this to BCW management to have in the physical copy, but you both can lay claim to this along with the rest of the roster, and Ace Swagger, Tommy Good, maybe NJN, maybe not NJN, Caden Gallows, yourselves, and congratulations. I think the time is now to put BCW in the Hall of Fame, and there you have it.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom.
It means so much to me. Thank you.
No, it doesn't mean a lot to him, but it means a lot to the rest of the guys that I've talked to.
He's the founder, though. You don't think it means anything to him?
It means everything to me.
No, I don't. I mean, this guy
Absolutely
literally.
everything.
It was minutes ago. This man just said he doesn't love BCW as much as he should. He went on public. He went on record saying that. And I just want to say that there are people who backstage. It's not just me. I do. This man is an egotist, and I've taken a lot of credit for the success of BCW, rightfully so. I've been at the top, but also there's been a lot of other guys.
The buck does stop here with the champ. I think that goes back to my original point a little while ago. Sure.
But there's been a lot of other guys in this locker room who have contributed. Caden Gallows and Christian Sin. Those are two guys right there I want to thank off the bat. Caden Gallows and Christian Sin, when we were on hiatus, they were the men. Tsunami said, why didn't I bring in anyone to fight? When I met Caden Gallows, the night I met Caden Gallows, I knew we were coming back. So shout out to those guys. Shout out to even NJN who never misses. Shout out to Tommy Good. Shout out to these guys who are continuing to put BCW on the map. Allowing these part-timers like Tsunami to come in and just benefit from a little bit from our success. So
missed a couple names there, like JC Common and Ace Swagger. See, I know who's involved in this company. company.
Of course,
Just
JC Comet and Ace Swagger. Yes, of course.
Yeah, you missed them. I mean, you only thank who you really want to thank, but in reality, you only want to, seem like so amazing. Oh, I get to thank everybody. It should go without thanks. It should go without mention. You don't have to thank these people. No one cares.
All right, let me ask you a question, Tsunami. Let me ask you this. You've talked about obviously having the upper hand on Maxel in previous Trampomanias. The last time you guys squared off, Maxel got the victory. But if you defeat Maxel Reeves here next Sunday, Tsunami, do you want to consider yourself maybe not the founder of BCW or even the BCW champion, but Mr. Trampomania? Yeah. Are you Mr. Trampomania?
I mean, as of right now, I am Mr. Trampomania, and after Trampomania 3, I will be Mr. Trampomania, like without a shadow of a doubt. And depending on what happens, there's opportunity for everyone. If the right people win, if the right people lose, there's opportunity for everyone except for myself to have a loss on their record at Trampomania, which, I mean, 3-0 is fantastic, and I can't wait to be able to.
I mean, this would be the streak right now in BYW. That's why I brought it up. Are you considered to be Mr. Trampomania?
Oh yeah, I'm undefeated
next Sunday. I mean, that's what's at stake.
He's absolutely not winning next Sunday, and also, as big of a stage as Trampomania is, although we have an increased viewership for that show, it is the same damn ring that it's always been, and I all time I have the advantage on Tsunami. I have more wins than Tsunami. I'm not sure the exact number. I'll have to check with the BCW statisticians and get back to you on that. All I know is that I got this statistic before I came on this show, and I'm going to tell you right now that this is absolutely true. I've beaten this man more than he has beaten me, and that will continue at Trampomania, because regardless of how big the stage is, I am just a little bit bigger, and this championship is just a little bit bigger, and this match is the greatest thing that you will ever do, Tsunami. It is the greatest thing that you will ever be a part of, because after this match, you're back to irrelevancy. You're back below the card and probably back into obscurity, because we all know that you're not going to show up unless you're involved in title contention.
Well, I want to definitely give you guys the opportunity to ask each other a question here in a few minutes. But Maxel, if I said to you, maybe conversely, you have an edge on Tsunami in the fact that the last two times, or the last time, as a matter of fact, that you actually squared off in the ring with Tsunami, you got the upper hand. So is that something that's going to help you going into next Sunday, in the fact that the last time you guys squared off, you defeated Tsunami?
Yeah, well, I think, wrestling is just like any other sport where you kind of have to have a short memory, and it's great that I beat Tsunami at BCW 97. It's a similar version to myself, not quite as polished in all the respects, but this is after the betrayal of NJN. This is really me coming into my own as an individual, me highlighting myself as an individual. So absolutely, I do think that'll have a play in it, that it is something to consider that I beat him last time, but it's not something that I can personally think about. I can't think about the fact, just like how I can't think about the fact that Tsunami beat me last Trampomania, I can't think about the fact that I beat him at BCW 97, because I have to act like this is the first time that we're meeting, and that anything can happen here. Because if I get lackadaisical, if I stop working as hard as I should and as hard as I have, then I'm not going to win. But I know that's not going to happen, because I'm not giving myself any other options here. I am walking away as your BCW champion, and there is nothing in my life that means more.
No, it's interesting points, because sometimes people come here on the platform before a big championship match or defending a championship, and they'll say, yeah, it is something I'll look at. It is something that I'll go back and watch the tape. I'll go out and check the footage, and it's something that I'll definitely remember, and I'll use it to prepare. But in this case, because again, it was a while ago and there's a lot more at stake, it's a bigger stage, that really at the end of the day, you're just going to focus on next Sunday. But, Tsunami, I want to ask you this question. Should you win next Sunday? I know I just talked to you about being Mr. Trampomania, but I have to ask the question formally. Should you win next Sunday and recapture the BCW championship, Tsunami, what would it mean to you to regain the BCW championship?
It would mean everything. It would mean that after two long years of pure suffering in this company, of hating this sport for the longest time because I could never compete for the top prize. It would mean that everything I've done since BCW 91, where I kicked my former best friend Tommy Good right in the jaw, everything I've done since then has been the right decision. No matter what matches I've lost, no matter what things I've said, ever since then, it will have been for the right reasons. And this BCW championship match is the most important day of my life, because not only is it for the BCW championship, but it's against someone that I hate and someone that I can't let have his ego inflated anymore. I can't let him say these things about me and have them be true. And I can't let him keep parading around like someone he's not. It makes me sick to see someone that I've known as a person growing up pretending to be someone that's so great when all he is.
So this isn't the Maxel Reeves that you knew. This isn't the Maxel Reeves that you were a child and just playing sports in the sandbox or just conversing about what was going on and just everything that you had that created these magical memories. He's not the Maxel Reeves you once knew all those years ago, huh?
No, he's putting on the facade like he did when we were growing up. And he would always try and be around me because he knew that I was too nice of a guy to really tell him how it is and make fun of him and bully him like all the other kids did. And eventually, when he came to BCW, I was actually proud of him for a little bit. As much as I despised him for, being a piece of crap to me ever since BCW started, at least he was being himself. And now he's back to being a fake person to get all the love and the attention that he so desperately craves. I've gotten that naturally ever since I started, whether I'm being, nice to the fans, whether I'm telling them that they're all idiots like they are, or it doesn't matter what I do.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the approach that we'd all want to go to, but obviously,
great businessman this guy is. Tell your audience off. Yep.
I'll tell anyone off. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're going to certainly leave that at that because that's certainly, again, I don't know if that's the route we're taking here, but I'll tell you the route I do want to take is I want to give you guys the opportunity, conversely, to ask one another a question. And I'm going to go with you, Champ, first, because I can see it in your eyes here throughout these 45 or so minutes so far. This is definitely taking a toll on you. This is definitely not just going to be a physical war. It's a verbal war. It's definitely taken a toll. I don't know if the Champ has successfully, deflected some of these things, but you're going to get the opportunity right now to ask Tsunami anything you want. I'm going to give you that opportunity right now before we close the show.
Absolutely. Tsunami, we've been through a lot together. You talk about our history as children. You say, you said in your response to me on Instagram, you said that I followed you around like a lost puppy and that all you've ever done was tolerate me. But Tsunami, that's not the truth. You know that at one point we were very good friends, Tsunami. We were very good friends. And, I'm not even, like I said before in my promo, I'm going to say it again. I don't have to mention your real name here on Sportswire or on BCW.
Yeah, don't do it on this platform. Don't do that. I know you might want to because he did bring up your father. And he's talked about not fully loving this sport as much as you. And I know that there's that opening, but don't do it here.
I'm not because unlike Tsunami, I actually have some class and I actually have some respect. But what I was going to say is I'm not going to have to mention his name because that man has been killed by this egotist. Ever since BCW began, it has become worse and worse. This man, his ego, his selfishness, it's become worse and worse. And, he stopped responding to all text messages. He became too big for all of us. He became too Hollywood, and all of that is going to end. Now let me get to my question, Tsunami.
Oh, God.
You've put on this facade to the BCW audience that you're the founder, and you put on this facade that nothing gets to you, and you don't care what they think, and you don't care what the world thinks. But Tsunami, somebody here is wrong. It's either me or it's you, and the world's going to find out. And we step onto the biggest stage at Trampomania 3 in the main event. There can only be one victor. There can only be one winner, and that man is going to be me. So I'm going to ask you this question. What are you going to do when this inflated version of yourself, this man with this false bravado, this false confidence, what are you going to do when that man comes crashing down in front of thousands of people and he is made into what he really is, which is a nobody? What are you going to do? Because I am going to kill the character that you've created, which is Tsunami, and you've already killed the person behind it. So you will have nothing left. You will be an empty shell of yourself. So what are you going to do?
Well, let's see. I agree that maybe one day my persona will come crashing down and I will lose the BCW championship I'll gain on May 4th, but you're not going to be the guy to do it. But if that does happen one day, I'll probably go and I'll sit in my nice house with my nice big TV and my nice video games, and I'll relax and I'll enjoy my life and eat my steak, and I'll go and have fun with my girlfriend, and I'll go enjoy my time, doing whatever it is I do. I'll go to the bar. I'll go to the movies. I'll go play some pickup basketball. I'll go play some pickup ice hockey. I'll do whatever, because I have so much in my life. I have so much in my life that if this doesn't pan out for me, I'm not going to have to, struggle. I'm not going to have to worry about finding anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, do all of that while I'm in the main event of WrestleMania and while BCW is one of the largest North American promotions. Do all of that while that is my reality. Your reality can be father. Your reality can be stay-at-home dad. Your reality can be pick up basketball, going to the bar, because the man at the top of this world will be me. And that's just the reality of it. I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm not trying to be selfish like you. I'm telling it like it is, Tsunami, because your heart's not where it should be.
Tsunami, I'm now going to give you the opportunity, sir. I'm going to give you, conversely, that opportunity to ask Maxel Reeves any question that you desire.
Yeah, I'm not going to yap on for 8 minutes like Maxel Reeves did. I'm going to just flat out tell him, why do you pretend to be somebody you're not? What is so wrong with yourself that you have to act so high and mighty? You point out your flaws. You don't point out what's truly wrong with you. I miss the Maxel Reeves of 2021. I miss the Maxel Reeves of 2022. This person I see in front of me, it makes me so sad. So what happened to you, man? What happened to you?
What happened to me is I woke up. What happened to me is I looked at everything I've done since coming into BCW. I've realized who I am as a person. And although you say I'm this is a facade I'm putting on, although you say I'm lying to these people, I'm sorry, Tsunami. I've never been more authentic. I've never been more organic. I've never been more real. And you have put me in a position. You've backed me into a corner. You've put the knife against my throat and drove me back to the wall when you said that comment in front of everybody, because you expected that it was going to tear this apart, that you were going to tear my bravado and my confidence apart. And it had the opposite effect, Tsunami, because unlike you, who's gotten everything on a silver platter since he was born, since he was put into this world, unlike you, I've had to fight tooth and nail for everything, every opportunity I've ever had. And as a result of that, I've molded myself into an impenetrable person, somebody who is capable of anything I set my mind to. I can do anything. I can be the main event of WrestleMania. I can be on Force 500. I can do whatever I want to do in this world, because the hard part's over. I've already become who I needed to be. And now, Tsunami, when you look at me and you look at you, we just don't compare. I am the main eventer. I am the face of the company. You call yourself the founder because you don't have much other accolades. You're the shortest reigning BCW champion. You've been an embarrassment to this company since the day you walked in. You've never been the founder. You've always just been the feature in my story. And I'm sick and tired of it. And at Trampomania, this horrible feature ends. And the song of Maxel Reeves, the story of Maxel Reeves, can continue to flourish into what everybody knows it is going to be.
We talked last year about the summer of Jovi, Sean Jovi having a summer of Jovi like no other. But I'll tell you what, coming May 4th, BCW Trampomania 3, whoever wins this match and claims the BCW championship, or in the case of Tsunami, reclaims it, or in the case of Maxel Reeves, retains it, it's going to be, could it the summer of Tsunami or the summer of Maxel Reeves? That's what it sounds like. The winner of this match, it's almost the unofficial start of summer. Everybody talks about, Memorial Day weekend, summer movies. That's when it all starts. No, May 4th, ladies and gentlemen, next Sunday is going to be where the unofficial start of summer begins, and it's going to take place BCW Trampomania 3, and that main event for the BCW championship. It's going to be Tsunami, the founder of BCW, who tonight here has shown, has he gotten into the head of Maxel Reeves, or is Maxel Reeves shown why for the past 8 months? It doesn't matter what Tsunami says. It doesn't matter if Tsunami talks about his father, or if he talks about what he wears, or if he loves wrestling too much, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, because he's going to show to the world, and especially Tsunami, why he is the master of brutality. Well, we're going to find out. I tell you what, we're going to find out. You need to follow BCW on Instagram, YouTube. Check them out, because this is going to be one of the most anticipated matches in BYW history. Will Tsunami be Mr. Trampomania? Will he live up to that and continue the streak? Or will Maxel Reeves continue his run? And maybe he is the greatest BCW champion in history, because, again, the viewership says it, the subscribers say it, the people that are engaged into BCW say it. Or, as Tsunami's shown us here throughout the last hour, that this isn't the Maxel Reeves he grew up with. This isn't the real Maxel Reeves. We're going to find out regardless. But, gentlemen, before we get to closing thoughts, is there anything else that you want to share with us here before next Sunday?
Yeah, I'd like to say a couple things. After Trampomania, after I take the BCW championship from him, I plan to sue Maxel Reeves for assaulting me. And if you haven't seen that footage is at the beginning of BCW 141 on our YouTube channel. You'll see him assault me. He pushed me, he tackled me, and then he started punching me. And so he'll be hearing from my lawyer shortly. But I want to take the BCW championship off of him first to get my own personal payback, and then I will sue him. So he will have nothing. So stay tuned for that. And everyone, please come watch May 4th, Trampomania 3. I would not want you to miss the greatest moment of my life and the worst moment of Maxel Reeves' life in the main event of the biggest show in backyard wrestling. So stay tuned.
Yes, and we put the footage up here because that took place this past Saturday on BCW TV. And, there you have it, and which led to this all coming to a head. And you've obviously declared that you're suing Maxel Reeves. I'm not sure what the legal parameters there are with the BCW management there with that, but obviously you'll take that to the courts, and we'll have to see how that all plays out, definitely in a courtroom near you. And I'm sure that somebody will ask me my legal qualifications on what I know about that. I am actually a notary public, and I know some of the law, but I don't know enough about it to say just tune in next Sunday and we'll get the full brunt of it.
I just want to say real quick, the reason why this man threatens litigation is because that's his contingency plan for Trampomania, is because he knows that when he can't beat me for this championship, he's going to have to sue me into oblivion to take me off BCW TV. And that's just not going to happen, pal, because as good as your lawyers are, I don't care who you got. Mine are better. And I'm going, and you know, what you said to me, you provoked me, Tsunami. What you said to me about my father, that provoked me. And you are lucky I left you alive. You are lucky you're sitting there still breathing, because I know where you're at right now. And you're lucky I don't drive over there right now and kick your ass. And
we don't want that. We actually had a segment here on Sportswire a couple of months ago between Tyson Spade and Joe Starr at NEW where they actually did that. I mean, they actually went at each other, and they both went to jail. So we don't want you guys both to go to jail and jeopardize the potential of
suspension here for another couple hours.
That's exactly why that man is still breathing. He's breathing so he can.
Well, you know what? We don't want jail time either. We don't want you guys to go out and confront each other before next Sunday. And obviously, we want to see this match, and we don't want you to have what happened to Tyson Spade and Joe Starr. They literally nearly killed each other on this platform, and I would highly recommend that we don't do that here. But Champ, do you have anything else you want to share here before closing thoughts?
Of course. Tsunami, this is it. After everything we've been through, we've been friends, we've been foes. This is it. At Trampomania. At Trampomania 3 in the main event, it is the biggest match of your career. And I want you to be serious about this. I've criticized you in the past saying that you're too flashy, that you focus too much on the fun of things. And you know, as you continue to remind us, that is absolutely true. But I want you to take this seriously. I want you to recognize what this can be for your career, Tsunami, because as much as I don't like you, I can admit you have potential to make it far in this business. You just don't got the passion that I have. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you right now that at Trampomania 3, I'm going to prove my superiority like never before. If you are watching this and you are expecting to see a 5-star classic wrestling match that goes back and forth, you're going to watch for the wrong reasons, because what it is going to be, what I have to do to Tsunami after the way he disrespected me, it is going to be a decimation. It's going to be a burial, and I'm going to bury this man 6 foot under at Tripomania 3. I'm going to prove I'm better than him. I'm going to get the 1, 2, 3, and we will finally be rid in BCW of the cancer that has become Tsunami.
Well, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, will Maxel Reeves once and for all put Tsunami past him? Will he once and for all show us why he's the master of brutality? We're going to find out. I mean, the only thing left at this point is to go to BCW's YouTube page, hit the sub button. That way you get all the notifications. You'll probably have another BCW episode before Trampomania 3. Or will Tsunami show why? This Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Or are we going to see Tsunami show us why he could be Mr. Trampomania and why time and time again in Trampomania he's had the upper hand? And we'll have to find out. I'll tell you what, I'm excited about all of it. No, by the way, BCW is in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, so congratulations to everyone in the company. And you've certainly heard a lot. Is Maxel Reeves right? Is Tsunami right? The only way we're going to find out at this point is to watch the Go Home show, and then certainly next Sunday, May 4th, is where it all comes to a head. This is one of the most anticipated matches in BYW history, and my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Thank you, everybody, for your support. And let's get to closing thoughts. Tsunami, I'm going with you. I pass the baton to you. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say, take it away.
May 4th, Trampomania 3 is the last day that you see Maxel Reeves as the face of BCW. You will see me with the BCW championship, no matter what, winning that title, walking out in the main event where I belong. And Maxel Reeves can say that he's the main event, and good for him. We are in the same match. We are both in the main event. And maybe we took 2 different roads to get here, sure. But it doesn't matter, because I am the one who's going to prevail. I need this more than Maxel Reeves does, and I'm going to prove it to everybody on May 4th. And that's all I have to say.
You know what? It's a match that's, I would say, not even months, but years in the making. It's obviously this calendar year. It has been months in the making, and Tsunami has had quite a 2025. He has definitely changed the trajectory of his career here, especially after his 2024 was. We know the hiatus, the losing streak, all of that has been put to bed, but will it finally come to a head here and he reclaims that BCW championship and puts to bed that he was the shortest reigning BCW champion? We're going to find out next Sunday. That's the only thing left to say. But Champ, I give you the last word here tonight. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? Take it away.
Well, first of all, Tom, I just want to say thank you for having us. Your presence here absolutely needed. As if it wasn't, I wouldn't be able to contain myself because of the respect I have for you. I wasn't as interruptive as I normally am when I see this man on our own television. So that's first off. Thank you for moderating this. Thank you for being here with us. Second off to Tsunami. Tsunami, I have no idea why you continue to lie to these people. I don't understand why you think that you're going to be able to sit here and you say that there's no other options, that you're going to win the main event of Tripomania and that you need this more than me. When you've already said that you're comfortable, you said you were comfortable if professional wrestling doesn't work out for you. You said that it didn't matter. You said that you don't care. I care. I am the man who needs to cement my legacy as this BCW champion. I am the man who is going to get his first win at Tripomania next week. I am the face of this company. When you think BCW, when you see that flag, the first face, the first name that comes to mind is the one you're looking at on your screen right here under my face, Maxel Reeves. That is the man that you know. That is the man that all of the people know. And Tsunami, there's nothing you can do. I don't care how hard you're working. I don't care how hard you're dieting. I don't care how hard you're in the gym. I don't care how hard you're running the ropes. I don't care. None of it matters, Tsunami, because what you did is you set yourself up for failure a long time ago, but especially at BCW 140 with what you said, because now I have a responsibility to myself, to this company, to this championship to end you. And at Trampomania, you're done. You are done. Your wrestling career is over. You will never make it to the top of this company again. Ever. because I am the man with the power to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And with this BCW championship firmly on my shoulder, we have experienced the greatest successes of our lives, Tsunami, and you're welcome. You are going to benefit from that. Your name is benefiting from that. You're on this show because of me. And don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget who is responsible for your success, because it is me. So deep down, I don't care if you say you hate me. You have to respect me, because without me, you would be nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, there is a lot that has been said here tonight. There is no question that the buck does stop with the champion, and there is no question that BCW has reached heights that it is reached because of Maxel Reeves, but also Tsunami is the founder of BCW, and there is no question that Tsunami has had quite a 2025, and it could all come crashing down here next Sunday for Maxel Reeves, but Maxel Reeves has certainly shown that he is the master of brutality, but will there be a master of reality coming his way? The only thing left at this point is to tune in next Sunday, watch the go-home show of BCW. We will have post-title fight coverage here on Sportzwire Radio at some point next month. I am sure we'll have a lot to say with the guys, and we're very honored to have had them on here. They are also a part of BCW, which is the newest company here in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Congratulations, guys, and please hit the sub button for our friends in BCW. Definitely support them. It is about all wrestling matters, and BCW, their growth has definitely come, and it's almost hit us here like a brutality would, a master of brutality. But Tsunami's been a part of that. He is certainly Mr. Trampomania. He's claiming to be if he wins, but it'll all come to a head here. Support the guys, and we'll give this copy to them certainly when we're off the air here. But thank you guys so much. I look forward to watching what's ahead here next Sunday. Looking forward to having you guys here for post-title fight coverage, and definitely best wishes, good luck, and I'm sure we'll all be excited to see the fallout from this definitely take place here. And congratulations, and we'll see you guys here next Sunday.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, that was the founder of BCW, Tsunami, and that is also right here, right below the reigning defending BCW champion, Maxel Reeves. And the guys will be swearing off here in BCW's historic Trampomania 3, which could very well be the most anticipated show and title match in BYW history. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button. Oh boy, he's putting it out there, the Trampomania flag. He's got banners, he's got it all. And I'll tell you what, that's a reminder. Hit that sub button for our friends here in BCW for a part of the BYW circuit. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, I'll be back here tomorrow night. Hit the sub button for our friends here in BCW, and please support them, and also check out their shows this coming Saturday, 6 o'clock Eastern time, and the Go Home Show for that, and also next Sunday, Trampomania 3. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters and all music matters. Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations, good luck, and I'll see everybody here tomorrow.